Transcript pad and trial pad have literally changed the way we do business in my office. It is mandatory on every attorney's iPad, mandatory the way we work now.
I see the amazement on people's face when you go to a part of a transcript and circle it with your finger and blow it up and underline it. It's just a fantastic tool.
To me, the best thing about this software is it's giving all sorts of attorneys the opportunity to do more with less. Less people, less time, less paper.
I don't know, I can't imagine not having transcript pad.
It has been completely invaluable.
I think Lit Software has actually raised the bar for a lot of other apps that say that they do the same things that Transcript Pad and Trial Pad do.
I think Lit Software pays attention to the legal community and develops new products, features quickly, and they deliver them with a reasonable time, and that's what's made this company a success in my view.
Basically, since I had Trial Pad, anytime I open up a case where I think that there's a possibility we might go to trial, I start building that file, from the start. What happens is I end up using using that presentation, throughout the case, whether it's for a summary judgment motion or in a mediation. It ends up being a very powerful tool to use with opposing counsel for leveraging bigger settlements.
We were able to make changes on the fly, make adjustments after a lunch break, add new exhibits after new testimony, brought in some exhibits we weren't planning on using, and overall we were able to be a lot more flexible even though we have a 7-person firm going up against a defense firm that had over 400 attorneys.
Well, the beauty of Trial Pad, which is really my favorite of the two, is the ability to quickly adjust to changing circumstances. If you need to respond to a judge's question, you can have everything laid out in a very logical fashion. You can move around. It's not linear. You can move around any way you want to.
Well, I'm a consultant, and I help attorneys who are going to trial. And so for my practice, it's helped me because it's extremely easy to teach, and it's really intuitive for attorneys who may not have experience in this kind of software to learn.
This tool gives us the ability, even outside of a trial or a hearing context, just to present information in a random order that's appropriate to whatever the setting is. But the new interface, the better flexibility, the better speed, it's a brilliant upgrade. Just completely brilliant.
It's one of my favorite apps. I don't use it all the time, but it is, I look forward to getting transcripts because it's so fun to, did I just say fun?
This changes the entire process of working with a deposition and makes it so that it's so much more accessible. You can access all the information you need. You can organize it in a way that's easily accessible.
Well, Transcript Pad has been a big help because I travel a great deal and I travel with a lot of transcripts. And whereas I might in the past have traveled with 20 depositions in multiple boxes, now I carry my iPad and I have many more than 20 depositions with me at any given time. I've got 75 on my iPad for an upcoming trial right now. So it's changed the amount of luggage I have in a lot of ways.
What I liked about Transcript Pad initially is that it gave me the ability to not just highlight something as being important testimony, but to put it with a specific issue code. When I want to go back to the deposition, I love that you can have the report that just says, here's everything that this witness said that I thought was important because of the damages issue. Here's everything this witness said that was important because of another issue. And so it allowed me to be a lot more efficient.
I have one huge monster case where we have taken over 35 depositions. It has allowed me to really organize those depositions as well as the exhibits for those depositions, but I also have easier access to information in those depositions, hands down, than before. And I don't have to carry a bunch of paper around anymore either.
I could go on and on about particularly how Transcript Pad has changed the entire workflow in my office. I'm a 30-year lawyer, so I'm used to doing page lines, for example, by hand or dictating, or worse yet, on a desktop. Now, everything is done through Transcript Pad, and it's an incredible time saver.
The first time you use it in a mediation or a deposition or a hearing, it's paid for itself many times over.
The price of Trial Pad is the price of one foam board exhibit. You prepare it, you get ready for the hearing and then something changes and you can't change it. With TrialPad, you can change it. And you can change it at the last minute and you can adjust quickly on the fly. So it's a tremendous value and I recommend it to anyone.
In the world of apps, $89.99 is ridiculously expensive. But in the world of trial presentation software, it's an incredible bargain. It's one of the cheapest and yet most valuable pieces of software that I use.
When I tell them about this tool and people say, isn't that like $100? I'll say things to them like, what's your hourly rate? How many hours or how many fractions of an hour do you have to work to generate $89? This software does everything important that software like Sanction does. And Sanction costs thousands of dollars.
It is priceless to be able to have, in one case, all of my depositions together, that I'm not carrying it around, shipping boxes of depositions from one place to the next. I don't think $89 is even, I mean, it's a joke.
Yeah, it's $90, but you're a lawyer. Get over it.
You're a lawyer. Get over it. I don't care what this costs. One case will pay for this time and time again. If you're not using TranscriptPad, you are losing time and you're losing money. It's really that simple.
It's interesting because that's way crazy expensive for an app. But when you compare it to other trial presentation software, it's basically a rounding error. So I think it's very affordably priced, particularly for the lawyer who needs to try cases on a budget.
One of the reasons that I was an early adopter of Lit software products is the customer support. Ian's personal involvement in this. Every time I've had a question, he is active on social media. I've never seen an app developer so responsive.
When I first got the TrialPad app, I had a question which could have been answered if I'd read the manual. But instead I sent an email to support, and to my surprise, within a very short period of time, I got an email back from Ian himself, the developer.
The response has always been incredibly fast and incredibly helpful. And so from the product itself, I don't really have too many questions, but when I do, I get answers very quickly.
The first day that I had 4.0, I told Ian that there was one small quibble I had with an interface element, and he showed me an alternate way to do it that's far better than what I had cobbled together on my own. So I don't know if that counts as using support or not, but